They put no pressure on you. Relax.
They said we wouldn't. They said we wouldn't be back, but look at us. Here we are again. Welcome back, Rick. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. You know. How about yourself, Grinch? How you doing?
Wait, who are they?
What,
Who said we wouldn't be back?
do you not pay attention to the internet, to the comments that people have been leaving us?
I don't look at the comments section.
You don't look at the
The
comment section.
critics.
The critics. Those are your biggest fans, Grinch. They think you're a crucial part of the show because you're kind of like the sidekick, right? You know, the guy who Googles shit for us. Um, you know how Conan has a sidekick, which is like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel, right? He's got the Mexican, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Guillermo.
Oh shit, you know who he is actually.
Of course I do.
He's hilarious.
What the hell?
He's
What do you think you're dealing with here?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I for a while I'm like, why do you need a sidekick on a late night show? But I think Jimmy Kimmel is the only one who can do it. Conan is kind of boring. Not. No, I don't want to say that because then I'm gonna get roasted. He's actually pretty good. I just think his sidekick is not very funny. I forget his name. I don't even know his name.
Who? On Conan?
Yeah, the chubby guy. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but he's pretty. I think he's pretty funny. He throws a
I think it's
pretty good
Andy.
singers in there.
Oh, Andy.
But I just don't
Andy.
remember his
Yeah,
last
yeah.
name.
Yeah. And
That's
Andy.
funny.
last
I
name.
remembered the Mexican guy, and you remembered the white guy.
I know, dude. How the
How
tables
does
have
that for
turned.
progressive, huh?
That's what I'm talking about. Progressiveness is where it's at. I I like
Oh,
that.
that's progressive. You just like Jimmy Kimmel more, so you're
No.
gonna know
I
who's on the
actually,
show.
I don't know how I feel about Jimmy Kimmel, man. This guy flip flops. Because if nobody remembers, which it seems like nobody does, he used to be a host on the Man Show. Remember on Spike?
You're right. He did. He was like he's
And
still
then, yeah,
He still looks like a
yeah.
socially awkward host. I don't know what it is.
I'm not even being socially awkward, but he kind of like turned into like trying to be like this fucking super progressive, like feminist guy and all this stuff. And like, dude, just a few years ago, you were fucking on the show with like women in bikinis and shit and talking about all this craziness. Well, what happened? I mean, it's fine. I don't personally give a shit.
You
But
sound like you have a problem with it. Jimmy Fallon is
no,
what I thought you were going to talk about.
this Fallon. Oh, I like Fallon. Fallon's hilarious.
Yeah, Fallon is hilarious. Minus
Like
the
the
drinking
most-
problem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, jeez, come on. That's his business, not our business. I didn't even know about that until just this moment.
It's like everybody knows it.
I don't know it. I'll forget it.
I had no idea about that.
You guys haven't met him? He's not that bad of a guy until he has one too many.
He's fine. Is that a Starbucks thing? I thought you were having. Hold on. You were giving me shit about instant coffee. I'm in the struggle right now, but you're giving me about shit about instant coffee, and you're drinking out of a fucking can.
Yeah, I hope we get sponsored by them. Sponsor us, Monster Energy, please.
Oh, God, that's
Where do you-
disgusting.
It's not
I mean, yeah,
disgusting. It's low carb energy. Come on, it's the morning. What did I say? High protein, low carb breakfast. Right? You don't want to. You don't want to.
You have no right to give anybody advice about breakfast if that's your breakfast.
Where do you get the nerve?
The audacity.
I'm
Say,
so,
breakfast is the most important part of the day. Let me start off with a
Let
monster.
me start off with a fucking monster.
that's how much. That's how hardcore I am. What? Fucking David Blaine, the magician. That dude eats glass. I'm over here having a
That's who you compare your eating regimen to?
well, at least
I wish I could like Rick's comments. Like every time you say something, I just want to like it for like the past 5 minutes. That you know what I mean?
if he.
So now this guy.
Or like in a text
David
message where you
Blaine.
can say like or laugh?
Oh, you react
Oh,
to
actually,
things.
hold on.
Yeah.
There's a thing here. Yeah.
Where?
There's a,
Oh, yes, there is.
And it's,
Yeah.
Not the same. It doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, it does, yeah, because I can't see it, so to me it means nothing.
no, it's almost like when they had laugh for the audience, when they had that sign.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, they tell you. That's hilarious.
It's like, oh, now I know I'm on the right path because I see that little finger.
I think that's kind of stupid having to tell people to laugh. Like, if it's not funny, I wonder what it would actually sound like. You know what I mean? Like the audience is there, and then nobody thought it was funny, and everybody forces out a laugh. I think that's really stupid. I don't even know what.
The laughs aren't forced. They have a fluff guy. They have comedians go in and then I mean, I'm sure you know the process, right?
No, actually, I don't. What? They have like a fluff guy?
No, yeah. So like when they're when they're recording, that they'll have a comedian there, so that when there's like kind of like a dull moment or they feel like it's getting dry, they'll stop recording, and then the stand-up will come in and do some material to kind of warm the crowd back up. This way, to get the laughs a little bit easier.
Ah, that's cheating. That's cheating.
You're fucking cheating, man.
It's not like in porn where they have somebody come and get the guy hard, right? It's like a fluffer. That's what they call it. Before the scene starts.
Unfortunately,
it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
It's like foreplay.
No.
Yeah,
it's just a comedy version of porn.
I just imagine the fluffer telling dad jokes or something. It's like tells what is it like? Why'd the boy put a ruler under his pillow? So he could see how long he could sleep. By the way, Rick.
No, please don't even give. No, stop it. You're
like
laughing at how stupid it was, but it was so bad.
You see, he's like, you see what I'm saying? I just imagine the fluffer like not doing a very good job.
Worst joke I've ever. I hate you right now. For the next 2 minutes, I fucking hate you for that joke.
Well,
that was pretty good.
Technically, I just started my timer, so I lost track of the beginning. No big deal. But let's get into our weekly.
Like 10 minutes in, and this dude
we should,
already lost
We're
it.
10 minutes in? Okay, that's fine. That's perfect because I started it right as we've continued into the rest of the show. Obviously, this is basically our second episode, right? And our third week working on this. I feel pretty good. I feel hella good. Especially since it is still morning for us over here on the West Coast. But let's go ahead and jump right into our quarantine weekly update. Rick, do you want to go ahead and start us off on how you've been doing?
Da-na-na.
We gotta get a transition.
Like the sports center? Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Like, I gotta write that down. Yeah, so go ahead and tell us how has been your quarantine lifestyle going on since we last met? In general, I guess.
Nothing different. Working from home.
Mm-hmm. Is working from home? Like, is that
just working from home?
Yeah.
The only thing that's changed is the gym is now requiring a face mask all times. To where before it was just as you enter, or as you're in like common areas like the locker room or restroom. While you were exercising, you had the exception, but now it's at all times. I didn't know how I felt about it, but still gotta go to the gym.
Didn't you mention to me you bought home workout equipment? And you still?
I did.
And you still?
It is way too expensive. Oh, absolutely, because the stuff that I need is still I don't have.
By the way,
dumbbells I only have up to like 35. That's not really enough for a lot of things. So, and they're not only are they expensive, but they're like sold out as well.
Correct. Yes, everybody decided to become a home work guru. Yeah. Grinch, what about you? Are you working from home still, or are you like hopping around town doing whatever you want?
Pretty much kind of both.
Kind of both.
No, I made that up. No, it's
Don't lie to me, Grinch. Don't lie to me.
I'm doing online classes, man, and it's just I don't know. It's weird. Some weeks it's good and some weeks it's bad. Last week was pretty good because today's Sunday. I don't know if people should know that, but it is the Lord's Day of rest. You shouldn't be working. Totally joking, not really this. No, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. It's sort of indescribable. It's like some weeks you're like kind of like pumped or you're excited and ready to kind of get the day going or get your classes, and then sometimes you just really like it's just kind of shitty. Not really feeling it, but last week wasn't too bad.
Like I can't imagine you getting up in the morning for a Zoom workout. I mean, not a workout. Sorry, your class. Like, do you get fully ready, like as if you're going to class, or do you just like get top half of yourself ready?
Yeah, that was a strategy of a lot of people, but I think most people sort of let that go. I remember I did it once, and then because I like to think. I was just kind of sitting there like,
I'm surprised.
This is pointless. Well, you can go fuck yourself. No, I mean, I still wear I'm still fully clothed, but I don't like put jeans on or anything like that. I'll be like in basketball shorts or fucking sweatpants and stuff.
I think there needs to be some kind of work from home ethic. Like if you've just got the business up top and I don't even want to call it a party at the bottom. It's more like a sleepover at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be rules about working from home, like going to school from home. You know, it's a matter of personal responsibility. If you're gonna work from home, you know, you should at least pretend like you're going to work.
You mean like dressing completely?
Yes.
Are we just stating the obvious today?
Is that what that is? Was I just stating the obvious?
I felt like it kind of was.
Well, anyways, for me, my quarantine waking update. I've actually been doing okay with this whole thing. I live down the street from a market, so that makes it really easy. I've been going for jogs on a weekly basis. I've been going on hikes, and it's been hella hot out here, man. Like LA heat wave really getting to me. Yesterday that was not that bad. You know, we got those fires all over the place happening, so it just feels like humid, right? Like this hot, sticky weather. On top of that, I mentioned to you guys, you know, off the cast that my fucking apartment almost flooded. So that was fun, right? Had to deal with that. Like, I live right next to the boiler room, right? So on my right hand side, there's a huge boiler, and for whatever reason, over the past week, water had been seeping through the wall into my carpet, under the floorboards, I guess, or something. However gravity works, that it put water in my apartment. Puddles of water ended up under the carpet, and it stinks.
It was weeks.
It stinks. It is bad. Like it is. I thought
No, it had been weeks. That's why I thought it was like one event, like something popped and
oh right.
started leaking.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah.
No, it was.
Yeah, so it had been going on for weeks.
Most likely, yeah, because I walk out my door and I see a small puddle of water, and I think to myself, okay, it must be nothing. Must be nothing. 2 days go by, I see the water puddle getting a little bigger. The next day after that, I see the puddle right next to my door. I'm like, okay, I should probably tell maintenance, because I'm so fucking oblivious to it that I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. If it reaches my door, I'll wait for that. It gets to that point, literally the next day, it's already in my carpet. And then I notice, and I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, it was, as I walk out of my door, there's just like, you know when something is like wet under, and you just step on it, and it just smushes, and the water comes up? I was so pissed, because I was wearing socks, because I put my shoes on outside my door, because that was the whole reason I decided to clean my carpets again. So I was like, I don't have to walk on it. And now I'm probably just going to get it all replaced. Again. Not again, but it's fucking annoying, because it's gonna be a whole day thing, and you know me, I like being home. I don't like being outside if it's unnecessary.
That's the thing about renting, man, is like as soon as you find like this, like any kind of discrepancy, you gotta let maintenance know before it fucking spirals out of control.
Yeah, and that's my fault for not just like taking the initiative.
Nobody is saying that it's not your fault.
Yeah, no one was disputing
100%.
that.
No.
I know even more facts.
This was an avoidable incident, but because you wanted to be a cunt, you sort of just let it
I've
go
got-
on until you had a fucking lake in the middle of your apartment.
I've got issues with the maintenance.
How do you put the second that emoji?
You second that emoji, dude?
I definitely second
We're gonna need
the
a.
fact that not only are you a cunt, but you are also responsible for what happened.
That's maybe I did it on purpose. Maybe I was like, oh, this is a great excuse to remove my carpet and get things
So
done.
now you're slowly
Hey,
remodeling.
and it just so happened that it damaged. The water hit my mattress because it's on the floor, right? Because I stopped using
The
the
mattress.
I have my full size mattress on the ground next to the wall where the water seeped through. So now I have an excuse to say, hey, let me claim this on that. It's like a $300 mattress, and that's
Wait, didn't you tell me you just like bought a brand new MacBook too, and that was on the floor around the puddle as well?
No, but if it was, I'd be pissed.
Come on, like, pick
And a
up
whole
what I'm
bunch of
putting down
studio
here.
equipment.
Follow along here.
Shit, I want it. Fuck it. I would have if it was more serious, but it's just carpet. But yeah, I mean, see, I think that's a great segue into what our first topic of the day is. Dating in this climate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't know how the fuck that's the segue.
That's not right.
It had nothing to do.
Because look, let me tell you.
You weren't even like, oh, the LA heat. Talking about climate.
Now let me tell you
Dating
who's.
climate.
I'll tell
You
you
were
who's.
just like, there's water inside the carpet. Let's talk about dating.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you who's in heat. Me, LA, and the reason why I brought up dating is because I can't bring any women over during the time in which I'm getting this done. All right, it's smelly. It smells like like not wet shit. It smells like wet dog, and it just. I couldn't sleep last night. That's another reason why I couldn't sleep. Like the smell is just unbearable. Like I'm ground level, and I'm like trying to turn my face so that I don't breathe in whatever odor that is coming off the water and the carpet.
Is it? Do you have just
Are you
the
sure
one
it was there
mattress?
before?
I'm sorry. What did you
Go
say,
ahead.
Rick? That before
The
what?
smell. Are you sure that it wasn't there before?
No, I made sure, because there's a trick to how you smell your place. You gotta leave your place for a little bit.
Oh
and
yeah.
then, and then come back after
Yeah,
like a
totally.
day, and if you whatever you smell as you walk in, that's what your place smells like to everybody else.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a whole day. It's like even if you just like go out, just stay out for a little while, and then when you come back, you get that waft.
Yeah,
right
there
in
you
your
go.
face,
That
you know?
waft. Yeah. So can you imagine I'm bringing a girl over and she just gets this waft? How do I explain to her that my place almost flooded?
I can't even imagine a girl going over there in the first place.
I mean, just ask your cousins, your female
Well-
cousins. I was gonna say something else, but I don't want to get too flagrant. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to start the day. I want to start the day. I want to start the day
I know
off.
where you were
I
going.
want to start the day off right. You know where?
Wait, so you have the one mattress on the floor, and that's your deal?
Yeah. No, I got
Yeah.
a couch, but the couch is like horrible. It's a love seat.
I mean, no. What I mean is, stop getting ahead of me, you whore.
I'm sorry.
So what I mean, so you have the one mattress, because I have sort of the same setup going for me. Because like years and years and years ago, like 20 million years ago, I used to have a bed frame,
Uh-huh.
but my friends came over and they're fucking animals. This is way back. This was on the East Coast, and so they started roughhousing and just fucking destroyed literally my fucking my bed frame. So I pretty much just like, tossed it out and just had my mattress on the floor. And I was like, oh, this is kind of more comfortable for whatever reason. But since moving out here, I have it's two mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit better too. And then this is kind of a long-winded way of saying I think you should buy a second mattress. This way you have a little bit more space between you and the floor.
I don't know about that because my bed is like
Okay.
12 inches in thickness. On top of that, I had stands that I bought from Amazon, but they're very cleverly able to be folded into each other. So I put them away, and when the love making is happening, I try to make sure where my bed is placed is an appropriate area for sound and comfort. Because if I put it up against the other wall, my neighbor. This is funny. You think this is funny, but I'm actually conscious about where my bed is if I'm gonna have sex with somebody, right? Look, I can't remember.
Furthest thing from my mind when I'm in that zone. But go ahead.
I can't remember the last time I brought a woman home, so my bed was in one place, right? So I didn't have to worry about moving it anywhere else. But now that I don't have it up against this wall, and I've made the decision to move it up against the other wall, now I have to be more self-conscious about who I bring over and if I'm willing to sleep with them on my mattress in that area. What I'm implying is that I'm a crazy lovemaker, is what I'm saying, because I don't want my neighbors. I've already had noise complaints, so I'm not trying to get in trouble for having loud ass sex. Like I said, LA's not the only.
It's always the ones that brag about it that are no good. You know what I'm saying? Fucking loser.
Look,
And even if we entertain the fact that you were,
A crazy lovemaker? Okay.
Which I want you to understand that we don't. But just we're entertaining it.
Uh-huh.
Where in your apartment would you then have this said crazy lovemaking? If you could have it there, because then no matter where, I mean, no offense, we actually pretty much both of us have like a small apartment.
Correct.
Just like not so much. What are you gonna?
How was that offensive?
Closet.
Yeah.
I don't want to put your business out there and say, oh, you have
big place.
A box.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true.
Why don't you have more
Let's
money?
let's downplay. Let's downplay. I know, right? Let me just grab this apartment next door. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You were speaking about something.
Well, now I mean, Jesus.
Well, tell me, are you planning?
What I'm saying is, where would you have it other than there?
Oh, well, you know what my place looks like. So for everyone listening, those not watching, my place is like a literal box if you walk into the door. Now, on one side of the box, there is an indent, right? The indent kind of goes about, I don't know how you measure something in degrees, right? Like it's like protruding 60 degrees.
You take geometry?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to like formulate an arithmetic to explain that there's an indent in my wall. Unfortunately, my bed does not fit in there. So I would put it in there because it's in the corner, up against the street, right? My place is up against the street side, the small street side of the building that I'm in. So I put it up against that area next to the boiler room, which is unfortunately volatile. Because my biggest fear is that one day that shit just blows up through my wall and then like I die in a big ball of fire or some bullshit like that. That's just my fear. But enough about me.
We're not worried about that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, well, I was just gonna. In your fear, are you alive when this happens, or is it when you're asleep?
No, it's when I'm asleep. That's the worst part.
So you won't feel anything. You won't even know that you're dead.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
Like I don't want to get too distracted about this because I could talk about myself and my incredible athleticism all day. Look, I'm awake, so I can.
Athleticism.
Yeah. Like, let the people decide what they want to hear. Because like, let me tell you something right now. Besides my lackluster date life and my incredible sex life, this boiler room is one of my biggest fears. If it happens while I'm awake, I'll see it happening and I'm just going to react. But when I'm asleep and I'm not a very deep sleeper, it's going to take, me, it takes me a minute to get going in the morning. So I may react by the time the fucking debris is hitting my face. And by then, it's already too late. Like, I'm not going to get up out of bed. I'm just like, well, just come and rescue me under the rubble. I'm not going to move on. Look, enough about me, Rick. Or Grinch, look, are you even able to date anybody? Like, do you believe in that? Like, are you dating at all?
There are women that float around here in space, so I do
Women?
what I can. Yes.
I'm surprised you said women. That you were gonna say like, I don't know, some kind of microbial bacteria or something. I'm not sure whatever you're into these days.
No, so how you see me, there are also women that sort of don't look like me, but are in the same sort of, and yeah, they're out here. So I do what I can.
I don't believe you.
Listen, you can believe whatever you want. I mean, some people believe in Jesus, some people don't.
No, but
What are you
Jesus,
gonna do?
but Jesus was real, and women are to you are mythical.
Oh, don't be one of those that you push your ideology on him.
See what he's doing, right? You see
Tell us
what
what he's
doing,
into.
He's
Yeah,
not.
tell me more about
and
myself.
I don't like it.
Please.
I'm done. Yeah.
What else?
I'm
What
done
else
with
do
that.
I think? What else do I know?
About women?
Well, apparently, you know more than I do.
Like again, I said, well, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, my lackluster dating life, incredible sex life. I only know so much, and I'm not gonna just tell the internet the secrets to that. Like, you can have a great sex life and no dating life, right? There's a
Oh
way.
yeah, for sure. No,
But
yeah, that's true.
but if I start telling everybody how I do it, everybody's gonna just start dating. I mean, everyone's gonna start just sleeping around. And that's nasty. You can't do that right now
Pretty
during
sure that's
during
been
COVID.
happening for a while now. I mean, I've only been on Earth for a little bit, but since I've been here, I've noticed that that's been going on for a while.
Yeah. I mean, like, how often do you abduct women?
Jesus Christ! I've never done that. What are you talking about here?
What do you mean? Like, how else do aliens get anybody? Like, you guys just take it?
They're out here, man. They're with it. They're just like the women on Earth.
They're with being abducted?
Oh, Jesus, why do you keep saying abducted?
Because that's what aliens do, right? Am I wrong, Rick? They abduct? Not.
Oh, keep me out of this.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to.
Sure.
I don't want to get you tangled up in this.
I forgot what this ad was for, but
I know. Yeah, you went off way.
No,
you're talking about.
Look, I'm trying to.
But if we're talking about entanglements, we can go back to.
Quantum entanglements. Yeah.
Didn't we already fucking cover that and say that we're not doing that?
That's part. No,
I mean, we can. Fuck it.
Like, explain to us what an entanglement is, especially right now, with everything going on.
Well, I don't think right now you can have. Oh well, yeah, you would be able to have. Because an entanglement is just a complicated relationship.
Hold on, let me. Sorry, let me.
I thought it is.
Is it where you're married and you give permission? No.
No, look it up. Look it up.
Entanglement. You're telling me
what it means.
Bro, like,
Look it up.
I believe you. I believe you. This is not.
Apparently you don't, because you want to imply something else.
I was implying that being
What
entangled.
Jada and Will did. That's.
With Jada
She had an entanglement. That's
With-
all right.
Look, what Jada and Will did were they had a gray area. She was like, "Oh, let me do me while I'm married with you." You know what I'm saying? She got entangled. By the way, for those who don't know the situation, Jada, right, Will's wife, slept with her son's best friend, right? Now, if the roles were reversed, it'd be obvious to me that an older man was taking advantage of a younger person. But because Jada, in all her wisdom, decides to say, "Oh, you know me, I'm healing."
Wait, what exactly gives her wisdom? What is it? What has she done that is so profound that you would look at her and be like, "Oh, this is a woman of wisdom. She knows what's up." Because that thought has never crossed my mind. I'm not saying she isn't. Where's the proof? Besides her cheating on her husband with her son's best friend.
Okay, so you there you go. No, that's basically it. That's what I was trying to explain. The entanglement part of the definition.
Right. I apologize.
So
I got carried away.
No. We look up entanglement,
I have.
complicated or compromising relationship or situation.
Is that Urban Dictionary?
No, that's
No,
Google.
that's
Is that Webster's? That's Google? Alright, look.
That's Google, baby.
that's what an entanglement is. That's why I'm saying it now. I wasn't even getting into their situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just using entanglement as a way to
It sounds like
describe relationships right now, especially with social distancing, not being able, because it's complicated.
really not.
There's not a lot of places that you can go to meet people with everything being shut down, like the normal places, what I'm saying, like a bar, a club, going out to dinner. Those things, there's a lot of places that are shut down, so that's hard to do at this moment. And what makes it complicated is if you meet somebody, let's say online, that hesitant meet, that you don't know if you want to meet that person in person because they might have.
They could be infected with a deadly disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we ain't talking AIDS, people. We're talking, like, it's funny. I mentioned that to everybody. I feel like I'm telling a joke now. Which kind of is a joke, right? I'm telling people, I'm like, look, you can't have sex with somebody now because you got to make sure they're tested, and now like you got to go back on a fucking monthly basis to be like, oh, did you get tested this month? Like, we've only been dating for a couple weeks now, so let's make sure we're both on the same page. It's not like before where people were like shooting off to Planned Parenthood to be like, oh, let me make sure I'm STI free or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think that's hilarious. Now you gotta like have a report card or something saying, "Oh, look, I got an antibody test. I tested negative for COVID. Like, can we go on a date now? Like, is this what we're doing now? We're wearing our scarlet letter. No, scarlet letter is something else. Or we're wearing our negative tests on our shoulders. I mean, on our chests, right? Is that how you say it? Is that the saying? You wear it on your chest when you do something.
Now, I don't know what saying you're trying to say, unless Grinch, you know.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the scarlet letter. Yeah, and it was a red A that she had to like sew onto her chest, or her fucking clothing on her chest, obviously.
Yeah, just wear your COVID test proudly. Be like, yeah, I'm negative, bitch. I got antibodies. Had it. I beat it. Look at me, glowing.
I don't know if I would go that far with it. I think generally people probably will believe you if you say that you took the test and it came out negative.
You think people?
Yeah, wouldn't it be the same thing as STDs?
No, because you can. Can you get corona while having sex?
No. I'm not saying how it's transmitted.
Yes,
I'm saying
of course you can.
the
Uh-huh.
the same concept of like no one's really saying like, hey, I have this or I have that, when it comes to STDs, when which they should be, but they're trash people out there that just don't tell their partners, hey, I might have this, you might go get tested, or I've been tested in the last day. People don't discuss that in the heat of the moment. Things going down, you don't have time. Do you think people will do the same thing for COVID?
I think people have become more responsible with that. I think people are. I have some.
That's because it's new. But do you think it'll be sustainable?
Yeah, I think the meme where people will start having virtual sex. I think it might get to that point. You'll just have fucking pleasure receptors being like tugged in your brain while you have a screen right in front of you. Right? You're just gonna not have physical intimacy if you have any kind of symptoms. If it gets worse, right? Because we don't know if it's gonna get any worse.
Everything that you're describing so far is basically the life of a nerd, and it's very unfortunate.
No, have you guys never seen Demolition Man? Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, of course.
Wesley Snipes? Didn't you remember that scene where
yeah, he's wearing that stupid thing on his head, and then things start getting kind of intense, and he rips it off. He's like, "Oh, fuck that!"
Yeah, he was
regular sex.
Yeah, right. He was having sex with who's my favorite actress? What's her name? Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's my girl. That woman, by the way, she does not age. Gorgeous.
She's very pretty.
In that movie, right? That's where we're heading, right? For those of you listening who've not seen Demolition Man, there's a scene where he basically wakes up in the future and they don't like have sex anymore, right? You guys should Google this, right? Just Google demolition sex scene, right? It's the most hilarious, right? Because
You might want to put a few more keywords in there, otherwise you're gonna come up with some videos
Yes,
that
oh right,
Don't
it's called
Google
might not
search
want to
that.
see.
it's called Demolition Man, right? Sorry, I said demolition sex scene, or is that what I said? I don't remember. Play that back. Yeah, so they basically put a helmet on, and she is like, okay, I want to have consensual sex with you. And Sylvester Stallone's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm about to get laid. Like, right, he just woke up after like 100 years. I'm about to have some like future sex, right? And she comes out in a robe, right? And she sits directly across from him, and she hands him like this helmet, like this VR helmet. He puts it on, and no, she puts it on first, and she's immediately like feeling everything, like getting off, right? She's basically playing with herself, right? With his image. And that's exactly what is happening when you put the helmet on. You're having virtual sex while you feel all the pleasure sensations in your brain.
And their idea behind that was, this is how we prevent STDs.
Oh, right. Yeah, because she gets angry because she's like, like body fluids, exchanging body
fluids and all that, yeah. No.
And I thought that's hilarious, right? Because that's what's happening right now. Like, people who wear masks and stuff, like, okay, you tell me. What do you think is happening, Rick?
Yeah, you kind of took that
There's no
way
way
out.
that's sustainable.
Go ahead.
You don't think it's sustainable? I think it's already happening, and it's gonna be its own industry, right? think about it. Like, how does Stephen Hawking have sex?
He has passed away. What is
Oh
wrong
shit!
with you, man?
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. I'm not. I totally forgot he passed away. It's
Be
fine. Now
ashamed of yourself.
he can have. Obviously, sex is a good thing. It's not like he's not having it in heaven or in the universe. Wherever.
I think you need a few more minutes of feeling bad for this.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
just stop.
I love
let
it.
me and Grinch, let me and Grinch have this conversation.
I love astronomy,
throwing
by the
shit
way.
He
Okay.
wasn't
That has
astronomy.
nothing to do with the respect of Stephen Hawkins.
Look, the
You are fucking killing it today.
That disrespect.
I love how we stayed on the idea of dating, but because our dating lives are so empty, did we have actually anything of substance to talk about during this dating segment?
Yeah, before you insulted a great
The
man
theoretical physicist.
and then told people to go Google some sex scenes, there was content to this. And Grinch,
yes.
so we can have David stop talking.
So we can
What do you
soak in
think about
shame.
What do you think
Man,
about
I
the
saw-
situation of dating during this time?
I don't know. I saw this ad. I think it was actually for Zoom or something, where they were doing like Zoom dating or like virtual dating, and it just looked like the saddest fucking horse shit I've ever seen. I think you can still, because when you're trying to like court a nice lady, whatever, you have this kind of trust. You know what I mean? That you're trying to establish with each other. So I feel like it's still kind of okay as long as it's not like, you're not like walking down the street and just picking up random broads, whatever, So like if it's actual dating, then it probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know why I started
That's
talking
sad.
about it.
That's sad.
It is, yeah.
It's very sad. Yeah, can we get a round of applause for this man, because unfortunately, like, he's gonna die in this heat. Right? Because it's hot as fuck, and he's in heat.
Boy, today's not your day, is it?
Hey man, the dad. I'm coming with the dad jokes today. 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Rick, are you planning on getting back out there after things go back to quote unquote normal? Because I personally, I'm ready actually. I'm ready. I'm ready to get back out there. In all seriousness,
You ready to
just
get hurt
asking,
again?
like,
I'm ready.
ridiculous-
I'm ready. I'm ready to fall in love again. And this time, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna just dive.
Speaking of which, Rick, would you happen to have the number of that chair model that I showed you earlier? I'm trying to find her.
She actually died.
What? Wait, what did you say? Model?
In a car accident.
The number of her model? Tell me
There's
why.
this-
Maybe I'm
There
not.
was this
Sorry. What?
beautiful chair model.
Chair model. Okay, I need to wake up still, because my stupid ass thought you were talking about an actual chair. I'm like, why is he asking for the serial number to a chair? What the fuck is
Oh,
this,
Jesus.
Office Max?
No.
I'm like, what? You need a comfortable chair? Chair model? What the fuck? Like, are we done? Are we done with dating? Is that the real question? Are we moving to a new era of talking about?
I'll be totally honest with you, man. If I had the opportunity, or if like I found a woman that was like, interested, and after probably a week or two, more getting to know each other and like building that trust, I'd still be willing to go out somewhere. There are a few places that are open that you can meet, have a drink or a meal or coffee, whatever.
Yeah, out here on the West Coast for sure. It was really bad with everything going on, because the social guidelines for bars and stuff, especially clubs. Clubs is the one thing I think will never be the same. Like, I just am.
I couldn't care less about the clubs. The club scene, it's not my thing.
Me neither, but it's a good place to have a good time with women. That's just it. Like, I don't think that, like, if you've ever been to a club, Grinch, like everyone's like body to body, like with a drink in their hand, like talking over each other, and it gets real
Oh,
hot
God.
and sweaty.
I
You
hate it so much.
A little bit. It's kind of nasty, because you got the drunk girl in one corner with her friend who's trying to keep her up while still trying to hang out with some dude who has like been hitting on her and her drunk friend. Like I don't wonder how that's gonna work for all the weebs out there who like have a hard time talking to women. Like how are you gonna break the ice now if you're like super socially awkward? And no offense to you guys, but it does take a little bit to like actually, whatchamacallit, why are you laughing?
Please,
He
wait,
just
wait, wait.
called us,
Before, wait, hang on.
In that,
wait.
he just called us a weeb. You just
Yeah,
called.
no,
You're like,
wait, wait.
you're like,
I just wanted to finish
I
this
feel
thought,
bad for the
please.
weebs.
Okay,
Please finish your thought. This
how
is-
are they gonna break the ice with everything if they're so socially awkward now? Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, you're gonna have a glove. These are dudes. They're gonna have double gloves on, right? The only time they ever wear any kind of rubber, and and the surgical mask. Man, I'm hot today, bro. That was a good one. Come on, guys, you gotta give me some credit for that one.
This conversation really got away from me.
No, we're talking about dudes who are not
Stop
gonna,
patting yourself in the back. Let's go.
like dudes
Whoa,
who
double
have
gloves.
right? Because oh my God, Grinch, come on, keep up. Look, men are just those socially awkward men. Sayonara. They're not having any children. There will be no children born. Well, there's gonna be tons born in the next 10, 12 months. But there's not none. Those weebs, those weebs. Unfortunately for them, they are they're done. Their bloodline gone, stopped, finito.
Is this a new slang term? Because I've never heard I've heard dweebs, but I never heard it brought down to weebs. Is that
Yeah,
new?
it's weebs are like
No, I was from context. I understand what it is, but
Yeah.
I just actually never heard it before. Is that like a West Coast thing? Is that what you people say out here?
No, it's actually like an actually, yeah. How do I explain it without appropriating it culturally? Because it refers to somebody who is really into like Japanese culture and like Japanese anime. As a guy who is really into that stuff, I love anime, so I'm a bit of a weeb, but I'm not socially awkward enough that I don't know how to talk to women. I'm
Well,
like,
maybe you don't think you're socially awkward.
ask any of the women I've dated. Look at them. They'll be like,
As soon as you introduce me to one, I'll ask her all about it.
oh well, as soon as I get a girlfriend. But yeah, those are my thoughts on dating in this climate. Honestly, I don't really have much else to say because, I want a girlfriend, but all these bitches out here are talking about, oh, it's so boring. There's nowhere to go out. Like, I want to go out and do stuff, but it's like no, bitch, no. Like now you want to do stuff.
Have you had this conversation with a female?
It sounds like it was verbatim.
Yeah, it's.
Like,
Are you just
an
like
exact conversation
saying what
about
happened
something.
last night? That's why you're so upset.
No,
Yeah.
I am personifying. I'm personifying all the women that I follow on my Instagram,
Ooh.
right? Because
Oh, okay.
for whatever fucking reason, they've all decided to say, hey, you know what? I need to go out. I need to have fun. I need to make sure that I'm letting people know I'm having a good time. I'm drinking. I'm eating. I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. But they don't want to say that. They don't want to say that because that's not how the culture is now, right? We've got people shooting their shots through DMs and liking somebody's reaction to a story or whatever the fuck.
I mean, I don't want to cut you off here, but I think that's been going on already for, with the social media thing for a long time now. How they're posting like in false realities, because they're posting pictures of like parties and drinking and doing all this shit, but they're posting this shit like by themselves in their apartment when it happened like weeks ago, and they're just like reminiscing on this good time, and they're just trying to pretend that their life is perfect, And it's not only women; it's guys doing it too. It's all these fucking people.
Yes, it's always been happening, but now I think it's more like now I think it's a necessary skill. I used to complain about it. I would be like, I fucking hate using Instagram and social media, but now I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta learn how to use it because I'm trying to sling some dick, but it's fucking difficult out here, right? The fuck, like, Let's move on.
but
I don't want to
that
get too
doesn't-
hot. I don't want to get
And
too hot.
talking about places like not, being open, especially places that most people would consider like going on a date would be the movie theaters.
Oh yes, hot topic.
Although the movie theaters are now reopening.
Dude, I was just about to say rest in
are they
peace.
really?
Are they? Are they
Yeah,
really?
AMC out of one of other,
What are they called? What
like
is it?
Cinemark and
And
AMC.
AMC, Cinemark, Pacific Theaters. No, that was not the ArcLight Theaters, right? I think that's like a West
ArcLight,
Coast. It's a
yeah.
West Coast brand, yeah. Under the umbrella of I think, who is it? I think AMC. No, AMC is not it. AMC I think is a different one. It's Cinemark, AMC, ArcLight, and then, there's El Capitan.
I don't know
which-
if Pacific Theaters was a
wa-
thing. Or it's still a thing.
No, it's not a thing anymore. It was bought out by ArcLight Theaters. El Capitan, have you heard of that one? Out here in Los Angeles? For those of you, have you heard of it, Grinch? El Capitan. For those of you listening, El Capitan Theater is actually a theater owned by Disney out here in Hollywood. They actually they like do reruns of movies. They do plays there, which to me, it wasn't until recently that I rediscovered that it was owned by them. Because movie theaters, with everything going on, have been closed. Essentially, almost went bankrupt. I think they did go bankrupt. I think AMC went bankrupt or something, and they're now just letting the West Coast, well, essentially the whole United States has no privileges to go to the theaters because who wants to be the theater that gives somebody corona? That's a fucking class action lawsuit waiting to happen, especially since
Well,
I don't-
they are reopening their doors.
Uh-huh.
They just started this Thursday, actually. At least AMC did.
oh
I
shit,
think Cinemark had been open for a little bit, but they reopened about 100 locations
hmm
across the nation.
Yeah.
And they aim to have 2/3 of their locations reopened by September 3rd. For right now, though, they're only doing like reruns, playing movies like Star Wars. What was
Star
the other
Wars.
one? Black Panther.
So just Disney movies.
Well, I don't know if they're all specifically Disney movies, but they do have just certain kind of movies that I wouldn't rewatch again, especially go to a movie theater to rewatch when I could rewatch them at home. Because right now, since almost every blockbuster was postponed, just like, there's a lot of people, at least I know I was waiting for it. The next Marvel movie to come out was Black Widow, and it was supposed to come out in May. They pushed that now, supposed to, I think in September, they said, or September or November, that they were going to release it, but Disney had came out and said that they weren't going to release it digitally.
Unlike
However,
Mulan.
there's rumors that they still might. Like, yeah, Mulan, they are going to do it digitally, and they're going to stream it through Disney Plus, like $30 extra from your additional to your subscription.
So yeah, Mulan, $30 on Disney Plus, plus a subscription fee, right? Subscription fee being what's like $12, $13, or am I thinking of Netflix?
Something like that. I don't have that.
You don't have Disney Plus anymore?
No.
I thought you did. What happened? You got tired? There's nothing else to watch?
No, I might have used somebody else's account, but
Oh, Grinch, are you? Do you have Disney Plus? Are you familiar with it?
It's kind of a personal question. I'd rather move on to the next subject.
With Disney
I don't really
Plus?
appreciate that. Yeah, let's take it down a notch. All right, let's calm down.
Okay. No, yeah. Look.
No, I'm kidding.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had it, but I may or may not have had someone else's account when they had it, and
That makes
they
sense.
stopped paying for it. May or may not have stopped paying for it, so I may or may not still be watching.
So if it's $30 to watch the movie at home, it's like honestly, it might be a bit cheap. You get to keep the movie, right? Versus going to the theaters and you pay, what? How much is a ticket now? It's almost like $20 a ticket for an adult, right? And it's like $12 for a child. And
Depending where you go, yeah.
depending on where you go.
And the time of day.
Time of day, really? Oh,
Yeah.
right, because they have happy
Oh,
hours.
yeah.
They have discounts and stuff.
Yeah.
True, right?
That's where you can catch me.
Oh yes, see, that's the other brand I don't remember. Was that an IMAX theater, or like a bridge theater? No, that's the place at where the theater is
You were
at.
talking about the theater at the bridge.
At the bridge, because they used to have a deal where you could go on Tuesdays and watch a $5 movie,
Yeah.
so long as the movie had been out for at least 2 weeks or something, 2 3 weeks, which was incredibly, like, just a steal. Like, talk about a date night on Tuesday. And see, that's the thing. Like, it's for me. I think theaters are hella expensive. The quality of their experience, for example, I think is low tier. That shit is like trash tier almost, in my opinion. Because let me tell you why. The snacks, the condiments, should be a strong variety of stuff. If it's only like the chocolates that are preferred for moviegoers, right? Then I'm kind of like, okay, well, I kind of want like a better selection. Now, someone would say, oh, well, why don't you just bring your own snacks, smuggle them in? Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock. The whole point of going to a theater is to have the experience of waiting in line, getting your popcorn, your drink, your candy, and still having enough money for maybe dinner afterwards, right?
We go to the movies for completely different reasons, and
Well,
we clearly experience them very differently. When I go to the movies, I'm definitely not looking for the experience of standing in line waiting for popcorn. That is part of it, but I think most people would agree with the experiences watching the movie in the theater.
Yes, but I mean, how is your different? So, what do you go to the theater for, if not to just, if you're just gonna watch a movie on the big screen? If the difference is
that is the experience is watching it on the big screen, like an early release. Well, not an early release, but like whenever it actually does come out.
So do you disagree with me, Rick? The idea of like, the whole, from the moment you buy your ticket to buying your snacks, condiments, and sitting down.
Those are obstacles, man.
Obstacles? What is this, a mud run? What is this, a fucking
Who the fuck wants
Spartan
who
race?
wants to wait in line for overpriced popcorn?
That's what okay. That's part of why I think their experience is trash now. But Rick, please tell me, like, am I like, my experience with movie going? I love it. It's a pastime for me. But do you disagree with me? Like, is that not part of the experience, or is that just like extra?
I will always disagree with you. I said that out the way. But
Speak up, please.
I'll tell
Say
you
it.
what the movie
Say
experience-
it with your
I
chest.
am. Hey, whoa,
Say it with your chest.
whoa.
Sorry.
Don't attack me. Don't attack me. We're all here, just
Sure,
sharing our
sure.
opinions. Relax, we're all friends. Semi.
I didn't have breakfast, so you know.
Oh, here we go.
Well,
with
you had
this
that
shit.
Monster Energy drink, so you should be fine. Okay?
Yeah, you should be fine.
So I think that's what you two described was the whole movie. I love going to movies, so that was the whole. To me, everything you guys said was the experience. Going, you know me, David. We gotta get there early because we gotta get there.
That's a good
enough
point.
Time to stand.
No, actually,
in line
wait.
and get the snacks. Even though sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do because those snacks do be very expensive. But I like getting especially we go out of our way to go to different theaters to get like the special popcorn.
Correct.
The caramel, the kettle corn.
Wait, what?
The cheddar popcorn.
No, I disagree. I don't remember because I don't like that stuff.
Wait,
I don't like
this
that.
is-
Sorry.
hey,
Yeah,
whoa,
I'm sorry.
This is my experience, right?
Okay.
Okay. Out of the way. And then getting there a little bit early to make sure that I'm in my seat by the time the previews, because love the previews,
Mhm.
and then actually watching the movie. That's the experience right there, because it is kind of an early access because you can't see it from home. So regularly, when a movie comes out, you can't see that from home unless somebody is
Okay.
bootlegging it and
Okay.
put it
Yes.
online.
What you're describing is a theatrical
Okay,
release. Okay.
let
Tell
me
me.
finish.
Okay.
Let me
Let
finish.
the man finish his thought.
Continue.
Um, so it's kind of an early release until they officially put it out there for people to purchase,
Uh huh.
right? That's all the experience. Now, what AMC is doing, bringing everything back, obviously they want to give people that same experience, but there is that COVID-19 obstacle,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got to think they're now requiring everybody to wear a mask at all times.
Correct.
As soon as you step in, you got to wear a mask, even during the show. The only time you can remove it during the show is if you're eating or drinking. Then you talk about snacks. I mean, the snacks now the selection is kind of
Tight. It's real tight.
small. It's a little bit smaller, so
Yes.
it's the basic. It's popcorn, the candy, a hot dog here and there, and the drinks. Like it's good nachos, I think, but it's small. It's the basics. It's not
Correct.
anything crazy. Not where like they have the dine-in ones, and then they said they're gonna do better with the sanitation, where they have these new disinfecting, what is it called, the electrostatic disinfectant sprayers that
That sounds like an extremely
kind of look like little
UV lights.
no, they look like smaller flamethrowers
Smaller flamethrowers.
that just spray, which apparently is cutting edge and traps 99.97 of airborne particles. So you just got to watch out for the 0.03.
That. Look.
So
That's
you're telling
But
me
that
there's
kind of
that's-
all that stuff takes away from for me, takes away the experience. Because I'm not gonna go and sit somewhere with a mask on when I could just sit at home, especially like let's say Mulan. Not like I'm not that big of a Disney fan, so I'm not gonna watch Mulan. However, but if this was like Black Widow or even like Tenet, right?
Tenet. Yes.
That they would release and they say, hey, we're gonna do it digitally. I would pay the extra to just sit at home without a mask. I can go get the snacks cheaper, and especially if you have a family, like Mulan is a Disney film, so kids will want to watch it. You have a bigger family, you're paying only $30
Oh,
to
true.
stream it at home.
Yes.
That's like, let's say you have a regular family, like 2 children,
Right.
a wife and a husband. That's 4 people right there.
That's $100
If you were
bucks
going
just
to the
on-
movie theater,
on
that
tickets,
would
yeah.
be way more
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah. So it's. See again. I agree with you on a couple of things, and that's another reason why I called these new these theater experiences trash. Or for a long time they've just not been up to the standard of which I'm happy with, because that experience of going to the theaters with your friends, a family, a girlfriend, or boyfriend if that's what you're into. There's from the moment because remember when you had to get there early, right? I thought that was funny you mentioned that. And there's no such thing as getting there early now, because your tickets are reserved and seats are reserved. I remember when like a big blockbuster would come out, everybody would like they would, because you would show up to the theater and buy your tickets there, right? Because actually, dude, do you guys remember Movie Phone, right? I don't know if you guys remember Movie Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you used to call, right? Oh my God, this brings back so many memories. I used to love this, where my mom would tell me, she's like, here, I'll give you the phone and you tell me the times, right? I felt like an adult, right? Being on the phone, talking to an automated voice, like, oh, let me get the times for the movie. Oh, man.
That's what made you feel like an adult?
Well, because I'm like using a phone. I'm on the phone, with a
I gotta
company.
say, your standards for
being an
adulting are
adult.
pretty low.
Oh yeah, you have no idea. Well, you will as we move on. And this whole thing where movie theaters were like, oh shit, we're gonna go watch a movie this weekend. For me, that was like everything. But now I'm not even excited when fucking. Okay, I was excited for Endgame. Avengers Endgame was in my opinion, for me, like what it was like to be a child again, because the excitement of. I actually went to go see it by myself, by the way, everybody, because I've got a close circle of friends, and I deliberately waited not seeing it with them because we all have a tendency to be on the same page about going to the theaters on a certain day, especially for a movie as big as Endgame. My buddies are gonna be like, "Bro, just wait for like 2 weeks until the theaters like die down," which is something I don't hear people say anymore. It's like before it was like you gotta be there on time, first come first serve, get your seats, or you're gonna lose out on a good seating position. But now it's like, oh, I don't really care, I'll just wait, or I'll catch the video on demand release and stuff like that. But no,
do you not get any excitement when you're buying your tickets online about like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go see this shit, oh I'm gonna sit here,
that's why I said
this is the best seat?
Avengers Endgame was when I felt like a child again. Avengers Endgame Avengers Endgame was crazy, right? Everybody remembers that. The theaters were packed. It was I think that's the last time we will see, in my opinion, moving forward.
Oh, that's not fair. Cool. Well, because you're comparing the highest grossing film of all time, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's still true.
Mm-hmm, it is, yeah.
Like with other movies, you can't compare. That's not fair.
The only other time I would compare a movie going experience to be on that level was when the original Star Wars trilogy was premiering, right?
In 1979 or 1974.
1974. Yes, you are correct.
You were there.
I understand.
I know I was there.
Look, yeah, you were there for sure. Look, let me tell you, I can tell you for a fact, through secondhand accounts, that was like one of the coolest moments in pop culture cinema for its time, right? A space odyssey revolving around laser swords. Like, that's the coolest shit ever.
1977.
1977, yes. Without getting too much into my love for Star Wars, the new franchise, it being trash, by the way.
I have to challenge that because
we're gonna fight. Let's table that. I don't wanna get into it about Star Wars, because we could have a 3-hour conversation about why the new trilogy was absolutely, in my opinion, just not to get into it, basura. Google that.
Well, what I was gonna say, nobody needs to. From context, I think you can understand what that means. But yeah. I'm always watching. So when the gentleman to my right here, that's on my screen at least, mentioned that they're gonna be rerunning Star Wars, there was no excitement, there was no light in your eye. You were just very whatever about it, very blasé. And if you're claiming to be a huge fan of Star Wars, I would have expected some sort of reaction.
Look, Rick said it. He hit it right on the nose. I can just watch it at home. I'm not gonna go to the theaters and do.
You wouldn't go to you guys wouldn't go to the theaters and like just to watch something like in a movie theater, like a huge before I left to the West Coast, they were doing screenings of like The Matrix, for example. That's one that stood out because that was one of the huge ones. And you guys wouldn't go to watch The Matrix in the movie theater?
For me, it has to be a movie like
Endgame.
Infinity Wars. And
that was just an example. Yeah. Like
the
something,
Dark Knight.
like,
but yeah, no.
Dark Knight.
We've gone and seen like other. I know I have. There's movie theaters in LA where, I'm pretty sure all across the country where they will play like cheaper tickets, but they'll play older movies. And I'll go see them. I like especially older films that I haven't seen before. I'll give them a try in the theater, because there is that. That's why I like going to movie theaters. There is that kind of atmosphere. There is that experience to actually go to a movie theater and watching a movie, vice sitting at home and watching a movie. You can watch the same movie, but it's a different experience.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was excited for when I moved out here was going to the theater that Quentin Tarantino owns, because he just does reruns. Obviously, he shows his own new movies when they come out, but he just does reruns of old movies and his old movies.
What?
So before everything got shut down, I was just like, I looked it up online and I was like, oh shit, they got fucking Django's playing in there. I'm gonna go fucking watch that shit this weekend.
Sorry, Grinch. I'm a big fan of Quentin. I had no idea he owns his own theater. What is it?
I had no idea you guys were drinking buddies. That's cool. You call him Quentin like that?
Yeah,
Can
dude.
you introduce me?
Anytime, bro. Honestly, I know you're a big fan, but he didn't tell me he had his own little theater.
Yeah. He bought an old movie theater years ago. I don't even remember. Yeah, and he just I think he remodeled it, whatever, did put his spin on things, and he just reruns older movies, movies you never heard about, and then he's always rerunning his movies, of course. And yeah, that's one of the things I was excited about experiencing at her.
Yeah, again, just to reiterate, the movie theater experience will never be the same. I just don't think I think in other countries you'll be able to go and do the whole regular thing, but here in America, it's a thing of the past, in my opinion. Do you have any final thoughts on this, Rick?
No, actually, I don't. I don't know what the future holds for the cinema.
Grinch does.
New Beverly Cinema, that's what it's called.
New Beverly Cinema.
Oh.
Thank you, thank you for that, Grinch. Grinch, any final thoughts on this whole movie theater going experience?
You know, I spoke about this with Rick before. I remember very recently I went to the movies. I don't remember what I saw, but I just remember, after the movie is over and they turn the lights back on, it's all bright and stuff. And everyone was leaving, I kind of looked back and I saw the seats, and just the state of the seats alone was disgusting enough. Not so much that it, I don't ever want to go to the movies again, but if you just look at how disgusting some of these chairs are, if that doesn't scare you away from going to the movies, I don't think COVID will either. But
hey, no, that's true. I mean, yeah, people have done shit for way less.
Sooner or later, we'll be able to just go back to it like we used to, and I can't wait for that day.
Okay, well,
yeah. And talking about the things that are unknown to us.
Yes.
Don't you have an interesting topic today?
Please,
conspiracy.
Christ, do I?
Yeah, please explain to our audience that we're doing something a little bit different today, right? We're diving in to what I would say a conspiracy alley, right? We're gonna take a stroll. We're gonna take a stroll. Come on, you gotta let it laugh out.
That was good. That was good.
You gotta be like, hey, that was pretty clean. Because for those of you listening, he gave me
Do you want me to put the emojis up?
He gave me a big.
You want me to put the emojis up?
Is that possible? Yeah, we gotta start putting emojis up because people gotta know that.
Yeah, put emojis up.
No, that's okay. Yeah, we got it. Let me see. Will it'll show on mine when you give me like a little heart, like a little reaction? Let me see.
I'm not gonna give you a heart. That's for sure. Give you a thumbs up at the most.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, conspiracy alley, right? We're gonna take a stroll down conspiracy alley, but for all intents and purposes, in my opinion, what we're about to touch on is no longer a conspiracy. Did I use that phrase right? All intents and purposes, right?
I think it sounded right.
Correct. Go ahead, Grinch. Go ahead and take the wheel.
Let me ask you guys a question, and like if we can just use yes or no, that's the preferred method here. Do you believe in aliens? I'll give you a third option. You can say yeah, or the kind of in between, but let's not go off on a tangent here. Just do you believe in aliens?
Rick?
All the pressure, all of it.
Yeesh.
Yeesh?
Okay.
Oh, I like that. That's a new one.
I
That's
get
a
what
good
you
one.
mean.
Yeesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but what does he mean? I don't get what you mean.
No.
Yeesh.
Hold on. What about you, Juarez?
Okay, look. Yes, I do believe aliens exist and walk among us. Real
Walk
talk.
among us.
Real talk. Yeah. Real talk.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Oh, this is good. Here we go.
Look, for those of you listening, if you haven't been living under a rock, the Pentagon has been releasing unclassified documents on this whole alien UFO. I don't want to call it a conspiracy because that implies that there are things about it that are not true, but are rumored to be true. Now, I do believe that aliens exist and walk among us because if they've got to be way ahead of, like, in terms of intelligence and technology, way ahead of us, right? Because if they wanted us to notice them, they would, I think, like, they would have made it obvious to us. But here's the thing. these aliens, I think, are actually studying us in a manner that is safe. You know how National Geographic be getting like these really cool shots of like monkeys mating and like fucking sea turtles emerging from the sand and like all this nature shit happening like in the wild. Like I think that's exactly what's happening with us. I think the aliens are here studying us, and they've got their own Discovery Channel on their spaceship, watching us interact with each other, while they're up there eating, watching us, and like studying us. That's what I think is happening with aliens. Like to think that they're not anywhere around us or near us, I think is a bit naive. If you want to believe that, because again, if they ever did make themselves known to us, we're like so dumbed down right after with recent events around the world happening. We probably would not give a fuck. We probably would just be like, okay, aliens exist. Like y'all been here since since so and so. I can already see it turning into, without getting too into it, a political movement with aliens, right? Because everybody's gonna be like, well, if you've been here so long, why the fuck didn't you like intervene when we were going through like the suffrage movement, civil rights movement, World War? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sure they didn't give a shit about us at the time. They were just like, look at these monkeys, right? That was my little rant about aliens. But Grinch, was that satisfying about aliens for you? Like, to me, like they live among us. Yeah, they gotta live among us, right? What do you think, Rick? Do you disagree with me or what?
I thought we were keeping the answer short.
If you wanted to keep the answer short.
No. Go, Grinch. Grinch, do your.
No, please go ahead. I'm just pulling something up right here because I want to make sure we're on the same page.
About the Pentagon or what?
I think they're. No, he's his own thing. I think they kind of would agree that they might, if they do exist, they do definitely live among us, and that we have no idea. There's just some things that is just like, especially in the like everybody brings up, and this is my the thing that I go to is the pyramids. I just don't think at the time we had the kind of, I would say we as just mankind had the technology nor like kind of any kind of tool to be able to get those big blocks just perfectly stacked, perfectly nice, and I don't believe it. I think we had extra help. I think with all these things that technology evolving in the last couple decades, I think we've had help. I'm not saying mankind's not smart enough. I'm just saying I think we've had help from outside sources.
Just to be perfectly clear here on my end. So with this super advanced species, you think their contribution to Earth was building a statue of rocks? as a sign of their existence?
That is the most simplistic way of looking at it.
As an example. I'm not saying like we have all this technology, but what we're going to do for you is build a little sandcastle. I'm just saying at the time, that's just one of the examples of the time. I don't think we could have done it without. But I also brought up technology in this day and age. I don't know why you're nitpicking, why you're attacking me like this.
Juarez was only lucky that I was looking around for some stuff that I accidentally closed out. But so why would they live among us? I don't understand. To better study us and get a better understanding of how we operate.
Yeah, because we're like a Discovery Channel for them, like Nat Geo, right?
I disagree. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be.
Or it might be resources that this planet has.
Okay.
But I think they don't want to completely wipe out
the human population,
the human race. So they want to do it within. They do, I think, come in peace. I think if there are aliens, they come in peace. Because if not, I think we would have been toast a long time ago.
Nah, okay. I disagree with part of that statement. But Grinch, you said like you don't believe they live among us. What do you believe then about them?
That's why I had to. Man, I don't know. It's hard to imagine
I
there
know,
not
right?
being anything else out there. But you get so many different ridiculous, crazy stories. Have you guys you heard of Bob Lazar?
Hell yeah, I know who Bob Lazar is.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Wait,
And what
but for
he
those who
tells.
don't know, for those who don't know, please, Grinch, go ahead and tell people who Bob Lazar is.
So he's a gentleman, a physicist who claims that he works. I believe him. I'm going to tell you that much. He's a guy that he claims that he worked on an alien spacecraft years ago, and he gave some pretty great detail in his work. So he did work. He didn't work in Area 51. Where he worked was somewhere. It was called S4, and it was like in the side of a mountain in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he started. Oh man, he went into pretty specific detail. And one of the funny things that he mentioned was when he saw a spacecraft, his initial reaction wasn't like anything like surprised, or he was surprised or whatever, but what they did was they put an American flag sticker on there so that when you see it, your immediate reaction is like, oh, this is the thing that I've been seeing in the sky that's been looking crazy, because it's just experimental government spacecraft or whatever, or flying vehicles. And
what are you saying? Are you saying that the government is hiding things from us? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think anybody would be surprised by that.
No, yeah, I have heard of Bob Lazar. You're right about that. He did work in a special area of Area 51, right? Because it's a broad base, so they've got sections, and he worked on S4.
No, but he specifically said it wasn't in Area 51. It was
No,
the section, the area that he was working on was called S4.
S4, right? No, yes, correct. It's just that I believe that the Area 51 is like the broad term, but there are other areas, right? From my knowledge, and he worked at one of those the S4 base, right? He did explain to everybody, to the public, back in like was it the early 90s, late 80s, that he was working on quote unquote extraterrestrial craft, reverse engineering. A little bit of history on him was that they recruited him out of his garage because he strapped a rocket to a Honda Civic, right? And he had a background in, I believe, engineering, and they background checked him. They double checked him, they quadruple checked him, whatever that means. Like when you, like, what is it? When you check somebody, like if you were to it's like a double blind test. If I'm using that correctly, where you try to make sure that you corroborate someone's story with a story that seems not true but helps fill in the gaps. Anyways, the point is, the guy has not changed his story since the late 80s, right? If I'm getting the dates wrong, I'm probably butchering the date, but it's been that long. I've only been on Earth for so long, so it goes to show you that if they've been doing, if he had been working on it, and we're in 2020, it goes to show you, well, maybe they did reverse engineer whatever they had there, because the way he
there's no way they reverse engineered that, because what he was describing was the propulsion system that they have for this thing. It creates its own gravitational field.
Correct.
Which
yes.
is something that nobody on this planet, not the U.S., not Russia, nobody has this kind of technology that can actually create gravity. I mean, yeah, we have electromagnets, but that's not the same thing. And that's yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying, because for those of you listening, I'd really recommend you guys go and look into element 115, right? Bob Lazar claims that he actually took some of the fuel, element 115, with him, right? And it was not so long ago that it was made public that we have essentially discovered element 115. Now, he was claiming he had it way long before it was ever said that element 115 is a thing. Now, if his story holds water, right? Because again, I'm not saying I'm skeptical, but it's the skeptic in me that wants to say that it could be totally possible, right? Because for those of you listening again, look into the CIA programs that they were testing back during the Cold War. Shit out of a science fiction movie, right? Things I thought were jokes, but are actually things they attempted to do with things like visual telepathy, or what is it? Where they like have somebody try and visualize another part of the planet, the universe, whatever. It's what is it called? Fucking visual something. We'll figure it out as we go along. And they had people like they were testing psychedelics for the purposes of mind control, right? It could be. I'm not saying that they indoctrinated Bob Lazar and then they had to memorize a story that wouldn't change over the years, so that they would drip feed us information. Now, at first, that was my skeptic thought, that maybe they trained him so well, like some kind of CIA agent who knows how to talk around questions and words and understand, and he's like programmed up here to answer, some MK Ultra type shit, right? Where keywords like trigger you and you have like phrases ready to go and shit. I think there's something there with that, because again, he did work for the government under a very compartmentalized section of the government, right? Where essentially you only were told what you needed to be told on that day, right? I think he explains that they would give him glasses where the peripherals are fogged out, so you could only see what was in front of you, right?
He said that he had to wear those when he was working in S4.
When he was being escorted to his work area, yes. He said he caught a glimpse of some kind of extraterrestrial like creature or humanoid type of thing once.
Okay, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. In 1947, there was an incident in Roswell, New Mexico. Okay, I may not have been there. Now, what they said was this was what did they say it was? It was like a balloon,
a weather balloon,
or
yes,
some sort of
I'm familiar.
Regular thing to not freak anybody out. As people started looking more and more into it and became more and more interested, they started talking about the flying saucers and this and that. Now, what's interesting is somebody, it looks like an undisclosed individual, said that they may have in Area 51 taken the craft right in there and detained the pilot of that thing.
Oosh.
So that's some crazy ass shit by itself.
It's like it's an allegation, right? What's the statute of limitations on someone allegating something before it's you're just kind of like
the statute of limitations does not apply to what we're talking about
right. What I'm saying is
there are no laws that govern this kind of fucking anywhere in the world that I could be wrong. Maybe there are some countries that have some things in place about extraterrestrial life. Should we encounter it, what are we going to do? I'm sure everybody has actually something like that in place, but like when it's actually happening,
like Space Force, right? Like we got Space Force now here in the U.S. That's pretty interesting, right? I'd be down to join the Space Force if it's easier for me to be an astronaut under the Space Force program.
Yeah, I'm 99% positive it's not that easy to just go into space. By signing up for the Space Force, you're definitely going into space. That's like saying, I'm joining the Navy. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of swimming, which is not the case.
Yeah, that is true. Yes. Look, aliens, man. I have a feeling that we're on the precipice of,
Here's the thing about the shit that they released, and this is what bothers me the most, is because it's like the most uninformed people about it are the ones that are talking the most. Because those 3 videos that the Pentagon released, those are from years ago. I remember seeing those before it was like, mainstream fucking everybody's talking about it, this and that. And the way that the Navy pilot describes it, If you haven't seen it,
I have.
he's flying. He's flying. He's flying his plane, and he sees like a tic tac shaped object flying beneath him, and then you can see from the video how it looks like it's kind of like on the right side of his plane. He's like looking down at it. He's having a hard time locking onto it with his automated tracking system, and it's not flying like in a conventional way. It's moving around kind of like a helicopter. Like it can do whatever it wants, but like way faster, like insanely fast. And he's following this thing for a couple of minutes, and then it just disappears.
Yeah. Real quick for those of you listening, if you just Google Tic Tac spaceship, UFO or whatever, it'll be one of the first results you get, because you're right. It's strange to see something like that gain mainstream attention, right? When it's been declassified for so long, or not declassified. It's been
no, it's not even that. I mean, you don't even have to.
Well, think about this, Grinch. Like, you touched on a good point. It's like, which I think to me, like, it just blows my mind a little bit, that this kind of information has been readily available, but it's only when it's in the interest of the mainstream media to let the people know what's happening.
The problem with these kinds of things is whether it's mainstream information or not, there's no way to verify it 100% unless you're there, because especially with today's technology, you can make anything look real.
Well,
but
sorry.
It's really taking this man on his word, because this was a pilot who has an impeccable record.
That's what I'm saying. Correct.
And
yes.
He wasn't by himself.
Right. He wasn't.
There were other guys around
they were.
him.
Yeah. They were
confirmed it.
Correct, and they were using they were using
Before
the most sophisticated.
The fucking Pentagon decided, okay, we're going to release this information, which, by the way, is its own thing. Oh, give me the hand. I know what I'm doing here.
No, he's talking to me.
All right, we are fucking. Oh no, I saw the hand. He's like, oh, take.
No. It's because I was about to talk over you. Sorry.
Oh, fuck, lost my train of thought. So yeah, you got two other fucking pilots who saw the same thing, confirmed it. This is years ago. And now, because the Pentagon decides to fucking release this thing as fucking, oh, this actually happened, now the New York Times wants to fucking say, holy shit, fucking aliens are real. This has been going on for a long fucking time. Okay?
Correct.
And I can guarantee you the reason that they put it out, or they declassified it right now, recently, was to just try to help relieve everyone's fucking stress about the fucking pandemic. Because if you can remember, they released it like in the heat of this thing, when this thing was like, when the COVID thing was like really people were freaking out all over the place. So this kind of gave the public something else to focus on, or they tried to, and it seems like it failed because nobody's talking about this thing.
Look, something that there's something about it that makes me skeptical. When I mentioned that not only do they live among us, but they're like way ahead, like in terms of technology and shit. They're like way ahead of us. They're fucking just.
Yeah, you have to be. There's no way.
They're in plain sight. All right.
We can't travel to other planets.
Something that
they're already advanced, fucking technologically there.
Yeah, something that really like kind of quelled my ambition to think that like aliens would just like fucking come to Earth and be like, oh, looking for your leader type cliche. Edward Snowden was on the Rogan podcast, and he, for those of you familiar with Edward Snowden, he's the guy who leaked.
Not familiar, you mean?
Edward Snowden? Oh, right. And he's the guy who worked. He was a contractor for the CIA and the FBI for a short period of time, and he was looking at all the security efforts that were happening right after 9/11. Anyways, he talks about it on the Rogan cast. He's like, I had access to everything. It was like a simple Google bar where I could look up anybody's stuff, emails, texts, calls, whatever. He says he looked into the UFO stuff and could not find anything. And
because the way that they do it is nobody knows everything about it.
Okay, look, here's the thing.
That's what helps them keep it a secret. Everybody is only stuck in their,
I disagree.
Their subject,
I think,
in their area of expertise.
Okay, I think it has to do with I think I'm going to stick to the idea that basically they're not trying to gain any kind of attention, right? Because they're like humans are easily manipulated like through certain behavioral patterns. So I would assume that they do not want, quote unquote, evidence of their existence unless they want it to be known, right? Because if you're
Who said this? Is this what he pulled up, or is this just your thoughts? I didn't want that to sound like
no, 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 no. You're
attacking or anything.
no, no, no. He said that he couldn't find any evidence of UFOs, special programs, and I believe him when he said that. There's like that what we want to
Hold on, I'm
believe.
sorry. What I'm asking is, where did you just? Was that you who was saying that, or did you get that from someone else about they don't want their presence known here unless?
No, that's my thoughts. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are my thoughts. I do believe that they don't want their presence known, because I think that yeah, they don't want their presence known, and they're not stupid either. They're not stupid to be like, oh, let's fuck with humans. Nah, there's a level of conspiracy to this, but aliens are no longer a conspiracy because they for sure exist, but they do not want.
Not for sure.
Right. If you want to be skeptical about how we look at it, right? Because technically, we're either alone or we're not, and both of in the universe. I mean, right? And that's just a scary thought to think that we're the only intelligent form of life in the universe, right? Because there's tons of life out there in the universe. I think there's like no doubt about that. Microbial, bacteria, water. Like there are things that can live in conditions that are extreme, literally. Like
and here's another thing.
Uh-huh.
Here's another thing to think about. When these things are seen or whatever, the aliens, they're not wearing spacesuits.
Well, what is considered a spacesuit?
That means that wherever they're from means that they might actually have oxygen on their planet as well. So that means there could be a whole other planet. Well,
that's assuming. Well, I'm saying because that's assuming that, because your idea of a spacesuit is what you've seen in movies and
right, exactly. It's the same as as anybody's idea.
Right, but that's assuming they wear a spacesuit, right? Because
or don't.
I've heard the theory that what we've considered to look like aliens with the big heads and the big eyes, little gray men and little green men, whatever, that they're actually drones, right? Like to send across vast distances in space and time. Because as a human, without getting too much into it, I'm not a fucking quantum physicist, but time works differently when you're traveling at certain speeds, right? Like so for sure, like if they're traveling light years, they have to have found a way to survive the trip, right? Because technically speaking, so it takes about like a month to get from here to the moon, right? When it's closest to us, and it takes about 3 months to get from here to Mars when it's closest to us.
I don't think there's anything that you have to do, because if I remember correctly, when you're moving, because if you're traveling light years, then you're most likely moving at obviously crazy speeds. But I know that if you're moving at light speed, time travels way slower.
Correct. Is it right?
So,
like the faster you go, the more mass you gain. I think that's the equation. And correct. No, yeah, the slower time moves, right? You technically, even when you're in a plane, you're technically, you're like aging slower. I don't remember if that's the
yeah, because it makes sense, because you're moving fast, so time isn't affecting you as much.
Right, yeah, damn, that was pretty insightful. That is I think what it is, right?
I don't fuck around, Jack.
No, you got it. You got to be. You're right. Like that's some real shit. Like we're living in we're on a spinning planet, right? That's like moving around a huge star, and we don't feel the effects of that force. Well, we technically do, right? Gravity, right, keeping us down, holding us down and shit. That's what I think for sure. Like those aliens that we think we see are probably
that stupid fucking thing that they were talking about raiding Area 51. That was one of the dumbest things that I ever seen as a fucking movement on social media. I was like, what do you think that they're gonna do if you actually try to fucking raid this thing? How fucking dumb are you? I really appreciated that when it actually went down, there was a mutual respect of like, hey, we actually are here and like we do have a presence, and then the military guys were like, okay, yeah, we see you here. So there was this mutual respect of like, all right, we're not actually gonna raid this thing because we know the consequences, And then these guys, and then the military guys were like, yeah, because we don't want to do this, but we will if we have to. Because the thing that a lot of people seem to not understand is part of the reason to keep this thing secret is because you want your own government, you want your own country to have access to these fucking extraterrestrial weapons and technology. Because that just puts you on the top of the food chain. And if you expose this to other countries, like, you know, other superpowers, for example, that gives them all the more reason to fucking send in spies or try to fucking start wars. I started going off there. But the point of that thing was like there's a reason that these things are kept secret. And it's for everyone's own good, not even just for the U.S. Well, I mean, mainly, obviously, for the U.S., but just it's in everyone's... it's for everyone's own good that some things are not made public.
Yes, ignorance is bliss.
But I think the bare fucking minimum would be great to just be like, listen, here's like just showing actual, and then there's no real way to confirm it unless you're actually there. Never mind. Fuck it.
No,
because I still wouldn't. If they put the picture on a newspaper, if they put it on the front page of the New York Times, a picture of an alien, I'd be like, I don't fucking know if that's even real. Even if the story is super compelling and it sounds very like factual and everything, I'll still be like, I'm not going to believe it unless I see it in person. Something like this, you know.
That's a good topic for next time. Skepticism about mainstream media. But Rick, any final thoughts before we move on to our final thoughts on anything on today's podcast?
No, I would have thought it would be very interesting just to see if anybody wanted to leave comments below of what they thought, what their thought of aliens and why they are here.
Go in detail.
Yeah, just not.
Guys, yeah, if you, yeah, please, again, like last time, we heard your criticisms on the internet. If you have anything else to tell us, please let us know. You know, we're not perfect. We're not.
Again with the French.
Hey, I'm perfect in someone's eyes. All right, I'll leave it like that. But what I thought today was I thought we had a great couple of topics. I think we steered a little bit off dating, but we were on track, right? I would say, like, did we miss anything, Rick, today? Since you are our production manager for the day, did we hit everything on the nail? Did we hit our quota for the topics?
You're forgetting to sign off. That's what you're forgetting.
Forgetting to sign off. Right. Yeah. I just thought I'd wrap this up because it's a learning experience for me. I want to thank everybody again for listening. I'm having a blast. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a lot of fun doing these on a weekly basis. We will be back. We will have this published as soon as we're done, right? And then we'll be back again next week. If you guys have any topics you guys want us to talk about, please comment them. We always read the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. It's always appreciated. And thanks again. Peace.